Good afternoon, everyone. It's so lovely to have you here. Thank you for joining us. It's great to be together on a Friday afternoon. I'm very pleased to welcome you to this session as part of our career day. We have a good relationship with PwC, and it's wonderful to welcome you and the team back. Thanks so much for being here today. I'm very excited for this opportunity for PwC to tell you more about the opportunities for your career with them. I'm hopeful that most of the students on the call are familiar with me, but there may be some from the BCom that don't know me. My name is Tracy Kraus. I'm the head of department for the PGDA and the bridging program. I'm not the person doing the talking today, though. That is going to be the team from PwC who are joining us today. So, Artie, I'm going to hand over to you to introduce yourself and the team, and yeah, show the students what you've got today.
Hi, Tracy. Thank you for having us. I'm going to roll over to Janine first. So, Jan, do you want to kick us off?
Yes, of course. Thank you so much, Tracy, and thanks so much, Artie. So, good afternoon, everyone. A warm welcome to the PwC session, which is the next era. So, before I introduce myself, I'd like to take a moment just to acknowledge all the students on the call and to Milpark for allowing us to be a part of your journey today. So I'm excited to be part of this session and thank you again for taking the time in your afternoon to be with us. So I'm Janine Bartis. The team calls me Jan. I'm part of the National Graduate Talent Acquisition team and I look after audit for the Western Cape region and some of the risk services graduate programs as well for the Cape Town office. But I'm obviously not running solo. I've got my team, I've got our team on the line. So, yeah, we love working in a team. So, let me formally introduce you to Artie. So, Artie, over to you.
Thanks, Jan. Indeed, very excited to be here today hosting with you. Thank you for having me. And a special welcome to all of the students on the call today that are here just to listen to us. So that's fantastic. Um, Today, we're going to be sharing a lot about the opportunities that PwC has. I'm Arti. I'm the graduate recruitment lead at PwC. And today, I'm sitting in Cape Town. And I think it's only fair, Jan, that we kind of get to know the students and find out where they're joining us from.
Yeah, I think that would be awesome. So yeah, if some of the students could just put it in the chat box and tell us where you're from, what region you're joining us from, or wait, what part of South Africa are you joining us from? Or what part of the world are you joining us from? So let's see. Let's put it in the chat. You're welcome to unmute as well if you're comfortable to do so.
Oh, the
Okay.
comments are
Oh,
coming through.
oh, we've got Viresh from Cape Town. Awesome. Then we've
Okay,
got
excellent.
Fadwa, we've got Durban, Joburg. Gosh,
Krugersdorp,
this is really awesome to see.
Wellington,
Wow.
Ramfontein, Sandton, Port Elizabeth, Rebecca,
Matata.
Newcastle. Oh, you
And
guys
we've got
type really
Josie on the
fast.
line. Yeah, I think they're excited, Artie.
I
They
love
look
it.
very excited. Poland, wow. Polokwane, awesome.
Northwest Mafeking in the house. Josie came through. Gatleko, I see you.
Oh, Bianca says they are very excited. That's awesome to
Oh,
hear, Bianca. So glad to hear that.
I love it. Please keep using the chat. You know where it is now. So we asked the question to make sure that you know where you can find the chat so that you can easily connect with us. Please also don't feel shy to raise your hand and let us know if you have a question throughout the session.
Awesome. So now that we're comfortable and that we know where you're joining us from and obviously why are you here, so this is just to tell you a little bit about PwC and our exciting opportunities for you. And this means, yes, that we are still recruiting students like yourself. Yes, you heard that right. We have some business representatives that are on the call today, and they'll give you some more insight on how you can set yourself up for success by joining our firm, PwC. So, Artie, what's on the agenda for today?
Okay, so I think it's only fair that we walk through what the next era means and how you can become part of it. We'll also look at our purpose and our values and make sure that you're aligned to what we stand for in the market. And most importantly, you heard that we have a few VIPs on the call, and they're going to share their journey with you, their experiences, why they love PwC, and why you should love PwC. And we really want it to be an interactive session, as I said. So feel free to use the chat function. Let us know if you have a question. Yeah, we're here to assist you. We have lots of people from our team on the call as well, and they're happy to help. So let's start with the PwC intro. So PwC is a global organization, and we actually operate in 149 countries. And we also have 13 offices in South Africa. 13, guys. Our purpose is to build trust in society and solve important problems, and we offer services across assurance, consulting and risk services, tax and legal services, and deals. So, for those of you studying accounting or want to become a chartered accountant, that sits within our assurance practice, and you're going to learn more about that later on. We also recruit graduates from a variety of disciplines. So, commerce, audit, accounting, IT, engineering, and tax. Jan, maybe you can take us through our values.
Oh, no problem, Artie. I think this is one of my favorite parts. So, yeah, just to share a little bit about who we are and what's important to us and what we value. So, we are built, or PwC is built on firm values that all employees show commitment to every day. And what I love about these values is that they don't just relate to work, but also our professional lives, and they also resonate with our personal values. So, the first one is we act with integrity. So we speak up for what is right, especially when it feels difficult, and do things as if it was our own personal reputation at stake. We make a difference, so we stay informed and we ask questions about the future of the world we live and work in. We care, which is one of my favorites. We take the time to try and understand every individual and what is important to them. And we also recognize that each person brings their own valuable contribution. We work together, we collaborate and share relationships and knowledge so that we can create a diverse range of perspectives and ideas from each other. And finally, we reimagine the possible. So, this speaks to having an open mind to learn and to challenge ourselves to new possibilities.
Thanks, Jan. Every time I see the values, I'm reminded why I'm at PwC.
Yeah.
But we want to share exciting news with you all. We've changed our branding, so you would see us in orange. And this elevated strategy means that we're going above and beyond together. So, Chris, do you want to show us how?
Okay, awesome. Don't you just love that video? I think that gets me excited. I get warm, fuzzy feelings. It's my favorite video. So thank you so much, Christopher, for sharing that. And now for the moment we've been waiting for, and the reason why you are here, our information sessions are about to begin. So can I please ask the speakers, or our business representatives that are on the call, to please remain on the session so that the questions may be directed to you during the event. Thank you so much. So first up, we are going to have Stephen, our first speaker, who is based in our Cape Town office, who will be sharing a little bit about his journey. And Stephen, welcome to our session.
Well, thank you so much for that. Welcome, Janine. I was just trying to get the hair and makeup ready for the session. Um, but yeah, I'm always excited to be on these calls and having the chats with the students as well. I think I appreciated it when I got onto one of these calls and I was confused about where I wanted to go. When I had my PwC one, I knew exactly where I wanted to go. And maybe just for context, I was offered I was offered three offers from the big four. So three of the big four offered me, including PwC. And I think after my call with PwC, I knew exactly where I was going to go. There was no doubt in my mind. And to this day, I do not regret it at all. Some of my friends that are at the other firms often ask me if I were to switch, would I switch? And I don't think I would ever switch. If I were to move, it would be outside of audit. But as long as I love audit, it will be PwC first before any other firm. So maybe just by way of introduction, everyone, my name is Stefan. I'm an audit manager in the financial services division in Cape Town. I studied at Stellenbosch University. I did my undergrad there. I did my honors, and then I did my articles at PwC Stellenbosch, where mainly my client portfolio were things like agri type clients, so wine farms and things like that mostly, which I found very exciting. But I knew that the one thing that I've always wondered about ever since I was little, I always asked my mom, where does the money? So she always talked about retirement funds, and I was like, where does your money go? Because you're giving someone else your money, but what do they do with the money? And I think as a young, very curious, I suppose, child, I've always wanted to know what happens to people's money and how safe is it to actually give it to someone else, because I trusted no one growing up. And so my mom always used to say that she always knew that I was going to go into auditing because of my trust issues. Um, but I always ask the question, right? Where is the money going? And so I think about in my third year at least, I heard some of my friends have these exciting clients within the retirement fund spaces and the AWM spaces, and I was like, goodness, that's actually something that I want to look at, I want to explore, and I want to actually understand what are the measures in place, what are the controls in place? Is someone keeping these people accountable if anything happens with my money, right? Because we're looking at people's retirement, we're looking at people that need to go study and their parents put away some money for them, right? What happens to those? We actually have to look. There needs to be someone that look after, I suppose, the money of or after the futures of these individuals. And so I got into the financial services spaces, and that's exactly it. I got to learn about the flow of money and how it works within the investment spaces, and specifically then thereafter, what happens to your money if you are in the medical scheme space? Do they just use their money and make themselves rich, or what actually happens to it, and where do they get the money if you claim, etc.? And so for me, that was very interesting to learn coming into financial services, and still ongoing learning happening obviously from that perspective, but very, very exciting. And that is actually what you can expect when you come to PwC, right? Is you get to learn every day. You never get bored in your job. And I've always said that if I ever get bored, I want to switch. I want something different. And so when you work, especially within audit, but especially at PwC, you never really get bored, right? Because you will always see new things, new clients, or even if it's the same clients, you see new business developments, etc., that make you think, that make you want to solve problems, that make you want to, I always say, fix things, obviously in an ethical sense. So so that is, sort of the experiences that we've got here. And obviously, we don't expect you to know everything when you join PwC, right? Because we've got the system in place to make sure that you grow and develop as a business professional. So when you get here, you will get the necessary coaching and guiding. We will put you through training. And after that, on the job, you will be trained by people that have been there a year before you, 2 years before you, so that they can also show you how they've managed and go around and developed to the point where they are, right? And we give constant feedback as well. So it's not just about, we spitting information at you, but we also give you feedback on how you progress, and we advise you on what to do to improve yourself. And so really, when you qualify, when you have that designation next to your name, you really feel proud and confident about it, right? You don't feel, I've often heard individuals, and this is no disrespect, but individuals coming from medium firms saying, that they feel like imposters if they join the Big Four. But that's quite the opposite experience for us here at PwC. When we join any other firm, we often are very confident, even though we might not know anything happening at our next venture. I think PwC sets you up in such a way that you are open to being challenged, and nothing that is unknown scares you, but it excites you instead. And so I think those are the types of professionals that we want to develop, and that is the type of professional that I'd like to think I was developed into. But we'll still see as and when the challenges come through. But yeah, so that's just to give you a view of, the firm and my progress, I think, and development over the years. But of course, everything isn't just about one of the pictures on the frame. We've got our UK counterparts in there. So everything isn't just about work. Although they got excited, we worked with our UK colleagues over there, and on one of my engagements, actually get to work with PwC basically across the world. So Guernsey, Singapore, Australia, you name it, we have it on that job. So it's quite exciting to sort of explore and learn from people, and different accents coming through as well. I think our Luxembourg colleagues sometimes pose challenges to us from an accent perspective, but I think we are very adaptable, and we learn very quickly how to manage those situations and make sure that we actually understand each other. But like I said earlier on, everything is not just about work, although that is primarily why we're here, right? But we also party hard. And I try to put on a couple of photos there to just show you that we come together as colleagues, and sometimes just as your mini friend group that you've met here within the PwC space. We come together and we party like it's nobody's business. So whether you are a social butterfly or to yourself, I think you will definitely develop in I want to say well-rounded individual here, both from a professional, personal, and social perspective. So you don't have to worry about those instances. And I think when we're out and when we're partying, we do recognize that we are representing a brand. You just saw a brand change over there as well. That we do recognize that as well, and so that must be in the back of our mind. But again, it brought me back to or it makes me think of why I decided to go with PwC. I had to think about what are the values, and Janine spoke to the values earlier on, integrity, work together, care, reimagine the possible. So I oftentimes when I think about, myself, my personal brands, I think about PwC's as well. And because it's so aligned, I don't think for me, it feels anything extra but to be myself when I'm out there and partying and, being crazy at times and silly. But we do enjoy ourselves quite a bit, and you will find your people within the PW space, right? So whether you're not a social butterfly, you don't like to party, that's also fine. There are people like that as well. But if you are outgoing and you like that space, you will find your people, and that's the nice thing about PwC. It's such a diverse environment, such a diverse culture as well. And then also, I think the other thing that people often forget to mention as well is It's such an honor also to work at PwC. We've got a high-performing culture here. So you get to rub shoulders with some of the smartest, most intelligent individuals in the country, and sometimes even the world, like in instances where you work on engagements with individuals from the UK and Hong Kong and Singapore and all these people. So really you get to work with the best of the best, and you get to learn from them as well. So when I tell you, wherever you go post PwC, you really don't feel like an imposter, because you really feel like you've built that confidence by working with the best, by working at, in my opinion, the best firm, but also by socializing amongst the best, and get to learn on the best jobs and clients, etc. And just maybe lastly, as a very high level overview of the types of clients that you get to deal with, right? So I'm currently working on Momentum Group, which I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with. So that's quite a big client. And another one that I work on is 91, but very few people actually know 91 Group, which is also a multinational company. And so that's why you get exposure to PwC across the world, basically. Um, and it's quite exciting to work on these accounts as well, because not only do you learn internally from your engagement team leaders, people that are more experienced you from that perspective, but you also learn from other individuals across the globe as well. And if you like me and you like debate, you like fighting, then you also get to do that on those jobs, right? I argue quite a bit with one, I think the senior managers on that call there as well, on that photo. We argue quite a bit, we debate quite a bit, but I think we've gotten to an understanding that sometimes there just are differences. Even though one PwC, we have different regulators. They've got a regulator there in the UK, and we've got a different one here in South Africa. So the risk appetite, etc., is different, and so therefore we acknowledge now that there will be differences. So I think that the outgoing point there for us now is to make sure that both regulators will be satisfied with whatever we've agreed on. So yeah, I don't know if there are any questions, but that's basically my experience and what it's been like so far at PwC for me.
Stephen,
And
we
maybe,
do have a question
yeah, sure, go for it.
from Lungelo. This is more an AI related question, so I'm not sure if you want to tackle it now. We can chat about it more later in the program. But does PwC currently offer AI audit or assurance services? Specifically, can PwC provide independent assurance over the effectiveness of AI related internal controls? Or is PwC's role limited?
I suppose that is a question just a little bit outside of my scope at this point.
That's okay. We
But
can
I'm sure,
tackle
but
it
I'm sure
later
we've got
on.
Videsh and whoever else on
Oh,
the
there
call
we
that can
go.
speak to this.
I see Viresh's hand is up. He can tackle that
Yeah,
one.
sorry, I was busy typing the answer maybe, but I will type it out completely and give feedback here. I think just in general, it's an industry-wide issue, and I think it's a regulator matter, actually. The regulator doesn't allow us to use AI within the auditing process. Is the firm using AI within its general business processes? Yes, we do use AI within our general business processes. One of the two facilities that we have is we use Copilot as part of our process, which is part of the Microsoft programs of AI generated information. And then we also have our own personal PwC, Chat PwC, that we also use as part of our processes. But within what you talk of, let's say, specific question around within the audit process and auditing of our clients, we are not actually allowed to use AI to let's say, generate working papers, if in a sense, for a better word, or assess clients' information. Our clients are using AI in some of their processes, but we would have to audit that substantively, in a sense, or controls or whatever it is to be processes. But yeah, it's an industry-wide matter that's the regulator does allow the use of AI.
Thanks, Viresh. Thank you so much, Lungela. I hope that that kind of helped you. Okay.
Hello, sorry. I hope you guys don't mind me jumping in. Sorry.
Yes,
I just wanted
Lungela.
to just ask. So in terms of like PwC, I saw that you guys offer a program where you it's more AI related. I think it's more implementing AI controls with businesses. I'm not too sure if I read that correctly. So the reason why I posed that question is I just wanted to just find out more with regards to that, because since the industry is shifting in that and in that regard. So I wanted to ask if maybe we can get context around that. Thank
Okay,
you.
Lungile, I think you are referring to our GRIA program, our internal audit program.
I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure.
Because
But
yes, so our GRIA program falls within our risk and consulting space, and that specific program deals with the audit of internal controls, and one of AI controls was within that purview. So it could be that program, if I'm not mistaken. So it's entirely different from your SICA article program.
okay, no, it makes sense. Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, any other questions for Stephen? Hey, Stephen, thank you so much.
Guys, I just wanted to find out if you guys offer CIMA training as well, or is it only specific to chartered accountancy?
So we don't have a dedicated CIMA program, but you can become an accredited CIMA candidate within one of our risk consulting programs. So you wouldn't see CIMA advertised for PwC, but you can progress and write your 2 exams with to become CIMA accredited within the other program, if that makes sense.
And then, but do you guys have the CFO training program?
CFO?
Or is it the, oh, okay, CIMA, it's fine, it's okay.
Okay, okay, great. Stephen, I just want to, I see there's lots of comments in the chat, so I'm going to have to keep up. But Stephen, I did want to tell you, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your journey. It is always a pleasure to hear you talk so passionately about PwC. Sometimes I worry about my job when you're presenting.
Absolutely. And maybe just another exciting thing is we are joint auditors with EY in one of my engagements. And as I'm talking to you right now, I actually have to make my way to EY as well. So very exciting to work at PwC.
Fantastic. Enjoy your joint audit, and we will see you soon. Guys, let's give a round of applause to Stephen. He's amazing. Okay, our next speaker is all the way from our central region. So you would have heard central region, and you probably have no idea what that means. So I'm going to break it down for you. Our central region consists of 3 offices that we recruit audit trainees for. So it is Bloemfontein, Mafeking, and Kimberley. And everyone join me in welcoming Helene. Helene, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
There we go. I'm gonna hand over to you.
Thank you, Artie. Awesome. Thank you so much, guys, for the opportunity to come and chat with you. My name is Helene Nel. I know when you read it, it looks like Helene, but it's Helene. And I'm a senior manager in Kimberley, which is part, like Artie mentioned, part of the central region. I am, well, the cutest photo there is at the top right. I'm the mother of 2 very, very busy kids. So maybe if anyone is wondering, you are able to be in audit and have a family and balance everything together. So yeah, I always just say, do what you have to do at the moment that you have to do it. So don't procrastinate, but it's easy to say, it's not that easy to do. I joined the firm 6 years ago. I studied at the University of the Free State undergrad, and then I went to Stellenbosch to do my CTA. And it was nothing to do with the universities, but all to do with love. My now husband was then in Cape Town, so I went to Stellenbosch to be closer to him. And yeah, I finished it there. But then, in contrary, I guess, to Stephen, I didn't like the big city life so much. So I decided to move back to Kimberley. I was born and bred in Kimberley. And we've been here ever since. And it's really a very nice, warm town. And I guess it goes for Bloemfontein and Mafeking as well. It's smaller, but it offers you everything that you need. So the thing with a smaller office, that we always refer to ourselves as smaller offices, but you have access to all of the networks and all of the resources within PwC. However, you are in a smaller town, and it's just easier and quicker to get to work. Maybe, Chris, you can go on. There was just a few interesting facts. So, like we said now, the central region, that's how we are spread out. Kimberley and Bloemfontein is like 160 kilometers from one another, so quite close by. Mafeking is a bit upwards, and I think Tshirelecho is also on the call. He'll give you a bit of background on Mafeking as well. But that's basically where we are. So literally in the middle of the country. We always say in Kimberley, you drive 1,000 kilometers to the coast. It doesn't matter to which coast you're going. So that's how in the middle of the country we are. Cool. Then if you go on, Chris, please, these are the industries that we operate in. So maybe just a bit of background. In Johannesburg, for instance, and in Cape Town, you have lines of services or groups. So you'll have, like Stephen said, he's in the financial services group. So they would service the banks, for instance. Then you have mining groups, which service mostly mines and construction. You'll have SIPs, technology, there's a few. However, in the central region, we don't have categories. So we service a wide variety of clients, and you get exposure to a lot of different industries, which I, for one, love, because I love getting to know different types of businesses, and getting exposure to different types of things. So we go from big listed clients to small churches and schools, and yeah, you really get a wide variety to see what you like and where you would like to carry on in the future. Yeah, so those are just a few of the clients. The nice one is the diamonds mines. I guess you can see that one. We have a lot of mining clients, and then we've recently also expanded a lot into the agriculture environment. So a lot of corporations in and around the central region. And then public sector as well, tax services, there's really a wide variety. Cool. And then just one more, Chris, we also have a lot of fun, like Stephen say. We really try to put our well-being of our people first, and we are quite close in the central region. Everyone knows everyone by name, so that's very cool. And we try to compose our teams that it's diverse and everyone gets an exposure to everything that they want. And then we have a lot of fun activities. We have month-end functions every month, where we get to know each other. We play paddle, we play bowling, whatever you bring to the table, we'll try it. So yeah, maybe just that. And then also we contribute to the community. If you go one more, Chris, with giving back. This was on Mandela Day, where we spent time giving back to the community. In Kimberley, we gave gardening tools to a initiative where they started doing gardening services, and those people were empowered to learn a skill to actually help them in the future. So not necessarily only giving something which they can use, but then it's done, but empowering those around us to actually help themselves in the future. Yes, so that's basically the central region from the Kimberley side. However, I just want to hand over quickly to Tshirelecho as well. Then he will, and then you guys can ask us questions about the central region afterwards.
Hi, LNA. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. I just want to say Helena, thank you so much for that. I really enjoyed it. But just to top it all off, just to let, as I saw there's some of the guys that are actually from Mafeking. We are located in the Leopard Park estate. So if you are around and you want to be involved in the what do they call it? The vacation work with us. You can come through. We have it 2 times during the year, and it's actually quite cool to engage with you guys and show you what happens on the other side of an audit. Just basically on the Mafeking audit, and I think Helene has actually touched a lot on our offices, the fact that we are small offices and the range of services that we get to do in our audits. One thing that I actually found so cool was when I worked on a client that pays royalties to artists, getting to see how the money is calculated, how much they earn. It's really a cool thing. Getting to see all the IT systems that are behind the calcs and everything. So it's really a cool thing. So if you looked at what Helene presented in terms of the services, so you have your mining, you have your agriculture, and then in Mafeking as well, you have the music industry as well there. And also, in as much as we are a small office, I'm happy to boast the fact that we have 2 partners from our office that are national leaders in the PwC firm. We have Andrew Dale, who is the agri leader, and Fazine Buota, who just became the public sector leader. So in as much as we are small, we are also making, big footsteps as well within the firm. So yeah, if there's any questions, I don't want to go much deeper into this because I think Helene has covered everything. But thank you so much, guys, for giving us this opportunity. And yeah, we're looking forward to getting those applications.
So I have a question because
Yes.
I always ask this whenever I meet anyone from the central region. How long does it take you to get to work?
10 minutes. 10 to 15, yeah. So there's hardly any traffic in Mafeking. I think the guys that are from the Northwest, they can tell you. I saw a few popping in messages. Yeah, Helene, you're actually quite right. I think a lot of our trainees, especially the guys that start off first, they would just walk to the office and yeah, it's actually so cool.
Can you see how jealous I am here in Cape Town?
And Artie, one of the cool, and I think Helene also pointed the fact that we're so close and we care about each other. One of the coolest thing actually that I forgot to mention is that we have a competition. We call it a health competition. So if you go to gym, you would just take pictures and show how many kilometers you actually ran during the day. You send a picture and you get like points, and then at the end of the month or at the end of the quarter, the winner gets a lacquer prize to go with. So it's actually a cool office to be part of.
Very cool. I'm going to submit my step count to you and try and get that prize. Okay, are there any questions for Helene and Sirletso? Any questions about Bloemfontein, Mafeking, or Kimberley? Netta, there we go. I'm convinced I belong to this office. I love it. I think there's a hand raised. I can't see who it is, so you're welcome to unmute. Lungelo.
Hi, sorry guys. It's not necessarily a location specific question. To me, it's more of a question of, in terms of like specialize. If you want to specialize in something, are you limited? Let's say if I choose financial services, am I limited to purely doing financial services, or can you like somewhat structure your own rotation in the sense that let's say I want to do mining at a specific point, or maybe do some agri? Are you allowed to structure it, or is it just purely you stick to your lane? Yeah. And also in terms of like let's say towards the end of your audit, your articles, are you like, I know your competitors offer different structures in terms of specialization. I just wanted to find out what your guys's thought process, or the process in terms of let's say if I want to specialize in mining, which is essentially the question that I posted on the chat. Thank you.
Okay, so I think I'm just going to answer broadly and then hand over to Sirileta and Helene to maybe just walk us through the clients that you've worked on, just to showcase the diversity. So Lungelo, I think being at PwC offers you a lot of variety. So, for example, if you are in the Waterfall or Johannesburg office, we do have a department called EUNR, which is Energy Utilities and Resources, and mining is one part of that. So, if you chose to be in that department, you will get exposure across various energy, utilities, and resources clients. If you are in a different office that does not have departments, so for example, a Bloemfontein, then your exposure could be a lot more varied. So not limited to a specific group like Johannesburg. But Sirileta and Helene, do you maybe want to add or give us some insight into the some of the clients you've worked on, if you can share?
Yes, so maybe from our end, Lungelo, I can answer only for the central region. I'm not 100% sure if you can choose in Johannesburg. If I am correct, you get divided within a group when you start your articles. But I'm sure afterwards there would be opportunity to move. In the central region, what we normally do, we give everyone exposure to everything. And then in your second year, we allow people to come to us and tell us, I really love the mining industry or the mining clients, or I really love agriculture. And then we really try to book you on those clients. So we try to accommodate you. There's definitely sometimes where you will be on something that is maybe not in your interest, but that's also good because nowhere you're going to always do what you love. But you have to just communicate within the central region, and we try to accommodate everyone. So if you tell me in your second year you really love tax, I will arrange that you get seconded to the tax department to get exposure to that as well in your articles. So it's just a matter of communication. Because we work so closely together between Mafeking, Bloemfontein, and Kimberley, it is very possible to move around the trainees between different clients.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Artie?
much, Helene. Viresh, I see you have your hand raised.
Yeah, maybe just further to that. I mean, I think you're right. In the larger offices, specifically, let's say Waterfall and Cape Town, you specialize in a certain industry. In the Gauteng office, obviously, there's multi divisions within that thing, and within those 3 years, you potentially will only do that service industry or that industry that you've selected. So it's not also saying that you get chosen for you. You select as part of your choice making decision upfront. In Cape Town, the same thing. You do financial services as a choice, or every other thing that's not financial services. So that's the division I belong into, in a sense. So, and that ranges from renewable energy to media to fintech, anything in between around that. So yeah, I think over the 3 years you will potentially service similar clients that belong in the industry. But there's nothing stopping you posted articles to join another industry. So we have seen people that complete, say in your example, mining industry, but then join a big bank because they've got an investment in a mining client, or they've got a portfolio of investment in a mining client. So it doesn't stop you from joining other industries in one sense. But on the other end, and the pro part is that those industries are looking for specialism as well. You understand? So a mining client is not necessarily going to go and employ somebody that has, I don't know, for a fintech experience in a sense. So there is also pros and cons to both of it, and that's why it's important to decide upfront what industry I do want to go into, because you'll specialize in that. And then if you want to change tracks, yeah, it will take you a while, but not very long. It may take another 1-2 years to kind of change tracks into a different industry, depend on opportunities that you get post articles.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Viresh. Okay, so I want to just quickly take a moment. Helene, Sirileta, thank you so much for sharing with us, sharing your journey, your insights, making us super jealous that you don't sit in traffic like we do. Always such a pleasure having you both here. So thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So, yeah, I mean, we've had another guest speaker on the line, but he's been very interactive with us, Viresh. And Viresh is one of our partners in our Cape Town office. And as you can see, he's been so excited just to engage with you. He's been answering all of the questions. So thank you for that, Viresh. But yeah, we're going to hand over to you, and maybe you can chat to us a little bit about the additional opportunities available that PwC does offer.
Thank you, Janine. Yes, I think I'm a partner within the Cape Town office. Been with the firm for almost 25 years. This is the 25th year in the firm. 12 years as partner from that perspective. I am the training officer for the Cape Town office as well. So yeah, I can answer some of your questions relating to the traineeship and the program itself and what to look out for during your traineeship and post that, in a sense. My specialism is in the media, fintech, gaming industry. Gaming being gambling or casino sites that you see around the country. I also do higher education and renewable energy. And specifically, just so you know, and I declare all my interest in a sense, I'm actually the auditor or the audit partner for Mopark itself. So I do the Stadio Group as a whole. I sign off the set of accounts. So yeah, but there's no conflict of interest from that perspective. But yeah, Mopark is a client of mine. But yeah, I think essentially, yes, we're recruited for the Cape Town office. I think, Art and the team are doing a great job around communicating with you in this regard. And we are looking for candidates to join us either the end of this year or July next year as well, as part of this process. And again, like the Cape Town office or the Western Cape region has a variety of clients, ranging from financial services, insurance, banking, asset manager clients, right down to agribusiness, or farm owners, or winemakers and so forth, everything in between. And like I said, I've given you the list of clients that I do here locally, where it also include manufacturing and retail. So yes, there's a broad range of clients that you can experience within the Cape Town office. And I think specifically we started a new division within the Cape Town office, specifically to service our PwC Island office from that perspective. So you would have seen, let's say, lots of changes in the industry and heard about it. And, I think some of the advent of AI or digitalization of the business. There's been a lot of demand from elsewhere in the world to use individuals that are based in South Africa. So one of our PwC Island offices actually approached us to kind of do clients for their office. So there's also potential of you to work on international clients, be sitting here in the Cape Town office and servicing those clients. So that's part of the recruitment process and drive that we are doing now lately as well. So yeah, so not just local clients and local individuals. We have an opportunity to join foreign teams and foreign composition teams around the world to service clients globally, national clients, and specifically the PwC Island office. So yeah, I don't have any fun slides or any pictures in a sense here. I'm sure Stephen has shared his experience of the Cape Town office, and Stephen has been part of one of my teams as well. So Stephen has worked for me in the past. Unfortunately, Stephen is not joining me. I think he's not on the call maybe, but he's not going to join me again on my current audits. But yeah, so I think like Steve was also saying, I mean, he's an FS client, but he has worked for me cross division in a retail client. So it does happen that you can work on different clients and different industries across the firm in a sense around that regard. Yeah, thank you, Arti.
Guys, we can assure you Viresh is super fun, and that's why he couldn't put it on the slide. All of those fun pictures.
Awesome.
Okay, so I think, guys, a whole partner. Does anyone have any questions? I think we can do maybe one question for Viresh, but Viresh, I do know that you've been taking lots of questions in the chat as well. So if anything does come through, but
I'm trying to type as fast as possible, Arti, in all of that, in a sense, trying to respond. But I'm happy to take questions, or people want to. It's maybe sometimes easier just to verbalize the answer in a sense. Yeah.
Okay, so I think I have a few questions. So we're going to put people in the hot seat. Let's put our panel in the hot seat for a little bit. Okay, Helene, coming to you. We spoke a little bit
I'm
about
here, sorry.
we spoke a little bit about travel time to the office already, but how often do you travel for work?
So we
Outside
do
of
travel.
your area.
We definitely do travel. We have a lot of clients which is based in Johannesburg, in Ryds, in the Free State, in Uppington, in the Northern Cape. So we definitely do travel. But I always say COVID definitely had a good and a bad. And the good for audit was that clients realized that they doesn't necessarily have to see us to know that we're working on their job. So even though we travel here and there, we try and do as much virtually as possible. So it's definitely a hybrid system, but I must say I really enjoy the travel. I don't know if it's because my husband then looks after the kids, but you can do team building. We normally go to very nice restaurants or do activities away from home. So yeah, you can be guaranteed that you will travel, but we try and make it as enjoyable as possible.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay, so I had a hot seat question for Viresh, but I see there's one in the chat that I absolutely love. Viresh, what would you say is the one thing that's kept you at PwC for so long?
I think it's very easy that one. I think, Archie, it's actually the people and the people I work with. I think make that. So yes, I can tell you, PwC is a brand, and we have our values that Janine has pointed out. But for me, the key part is the people. And I'm going to give this advice to all of you. Wherever you go or work or do anything or start up your own business or whatever it has to be, it's always going to come down to the people around you. So for me, the perspective is both. They challenge me, I'm able to challenge them. We can work together. We can enjoy everything, and also develop each other from that perspective as well. So it's always the people factor. And other big aspect is the traineeship allows me to impart my experience and knowledge to the trainees, and it's always I don't know, it gives you satisfaction to see somebody join in pre-traineeship and then leave in as a post-trainee, bigger, better, and on to better things for themselves in a sense. So and it's always nice to see that.
Oh, fantastic. Thanks, Suresh. I think one more question for you both. And this is about the future talent coming into the firm. What advice would you give a student that is going to start their career at PwC or any other place? What advice would you give them as they tackle this new journey?
Helene, you can go. It's fine. Yeah. Is it for both of us?
Yes, for both of you. For both of you.
Helene, you can go.
Sorry, will you just repeat the question?
Of course,
Auntie?
of course.
Sorry.
Renee, what advice would you give our students that are starting their transition from university or academic to work life? What is that one piece of advice?
I think, and I did maybe mention it earlier as well, but my take on it is work hard, play hard. So I really try to keep my personal life and my work life, I don't want to say separate, but if I work, I work. So then I'm at the office and I'm working my 8 hours. But this afternoon when I go and I pick up my kids at 5, I'm with them. Then I don't think about work and it's on the side. And maybe when they go back to bed, I'll catch up on work again. So it is definitely getting that balance right. And then I think just be open to learn as much as you can. I think sometimes trainees, which I do interviews with to join us, they ask us, do you give us training? And then I'm like, we'll speak in 2 months' time. Then you'll ask me, can I please not have training? Because we train and we train and we train. And that's really so important. And you need to be open to learn as much as you can. You must be a sponge and take it all in that you can really take in. I definitely learn something new still every day at PwC. So yeah, I think that's it. And I always felt like, I don't know how you guys feel in your CTA, but my CTA already felt like a job to me. So you had class from 8 till 12, and then you sat and you studied till 5. So it's basically the same thing. You just work from 8 to 5. So
Oh,
yes.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Helene. Virish, you want to give us a pearl of wisdom?
Yeah, so I think yes, you need to have an open mind. I think if you start your traineeship, the open mind is that you're here to learn and here to receive a lot of knowledge and experience. And I think that initial 6, 8, 9 months is a lot of information, sometimes information overload. But it's how you then disseminate that information and apply yourself, over the 3-year period. A lot of that is, I know it's a tough program. Let's say from a program, it's a 7-year program minimum, and you come in your 5th year as part of the program potentially to start your traineeship. And the 4 years has been tough. Doing GDA is tough. I don't want to sugarcoat it for you and be realistic. It is a tough program, but that's part of the journey in a sense that when you start your traineeship, it is a fresh start also. I think that's the other part. Your academic portion is completed. Yes, you have to write your 2 board exams or the 2 psych exams, but there's a fresh start that you can do. And I think people sometimes misjudge that in a sense that thinking I've completed 4 years of university academic progress, that means I should be, I want to say, let's say, ready for the workplace. We allow the training, we allow the failures, we allow the mistakes to happen in a sense, and that's part of the training process. So I think that's why you need to be open-minded around that you are going to be coached and delegated information and trained in that manner, that when you finish your 3 years with us, you are qualified as a CA, and I don't think it's taken lightly in the market or within the industry of you becoming a CA. So we want to instill that confidence in yourself and in others that have that yes, you are a CA. You can do various things, be a financial guru in whatever technical field that you want to be in. But yeah, I think just be open-minded. Listen. The biggest opportunity I think that you get is you are able to access clients' businesses, how they do businesses, without you having to actually go to the client in a sense or belong to the client. And you can do that within 3 years. You can visit, I don't know, let's say potentially 20 or 30 different businesses in a sense. And that knowledge that opportunity is not available to everybody. It's actually a wonderful opportunity. And I think that's why if you can spend the time in the 3 years and maximize your time, I would think that's the biggest opportunity of your traineeship.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much, Viresh. I think I'm just very cognizant of time. So I just want to say a very big thank you, Hilary and Shirletso, Viresh. Thank you so much for joining us. I think Steven's already gone. But we do appreciate you taking the time, sharing your experiences with our students. And sharing with us. Jan, maybe now that they know so much about PwC, I know they're going to want to get in touch with us. So do you want to share our team details?
Yes, of course. So yeah, Chris, if you can just move over onto the next slide. Thank you so much. So yeah, as you can see, we've got our graduate recruitment team, and as you can see, Artie's details is there as well, who's on the call. Serena's on the call as well, and she's our graduate recruitment manager. And then we've also got Larata Makolo, and she's based in the Waterfall office. So you are welcome to take a screenshot so that you have the contact details. And if you need to reach out to them, you are welcome to do so. Okay. We can move over onto the next slide, please, Chris. Okay, then we have our Gauteng team. We've got Ayanda, who's responsible for our graduate recruitment brand, marketing and events as well. We've got Kaitemeti Malloy, who's our graduate recruiter, and then Lumbuso Mashanini. And then, yeah, again, you're welcome to take a screenshot of their contact details. Okay, Chris, you may move on to the next slide, please. Then we've also got Sofiso, Marlene, and Dia. They are all based in our Gauteng office, but Sofiso specifically focuses on Nelspruit and Imalasheni, and then Marlene. She also does some recruitment for our risk services teams as well, and then Dia is also part of our team, and she also focuses on audit. Okay. You may move over, Chris, please. Thank you. Then we've got Nali, Sanalisiwe, we call her Nali. And then we've got Sivu as well. And then Christopher, who's our DJ on the line. So Chris, thank you so much for doing the presentation for us today and being part of our session. Nally's part is based in our Durban office along with Serena. And then Sivu is based in our Bloemfontein, Mafeking and Kimberley office. And then Christopher is responsible for East London and Kabeja. I got that right, Artie. It's taken me almost 3 years. All right. Chris, you can move over on to the next slide, please. And then we've also got Bradley Davids. He's based in our Stellenbosch office. And then myself and Tamlin, we're based in the Cape Town office. But yeah, we all recruit for the Western Cape. So you're welcome to reach out to us if you do have any questions. I did see a question in the chat box about an IT audit. If we are recruiting for IT audit, yes, we are. So you are welcome to reach out to me directly. And looking forward to engaging with you. All right.
Fantastic. Thanks, Jan. I hope you guys took a screenshot or a picture of that. But you can also keep in touch with us on our social media platforms. So just follow PwC South Africa on any of these platforms, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, and the old Twitter, X, right? It's called X. So you're welcome to give us a follow. You can keep in touch with what's happening within PwC, within the organization. You can also submit an application. Our website, I did add it into the chat function earlier today. Nita, yes, someone is not on mute. So you are welcome to apply for an opportunity there. We've got lots of opportunities, not just within audit. Keep in mind that we do recruit for July in our Cape Town office as well. So if any of you are in the mid-year program, you're welcome to apply for that. And we are still looking for 2026. So we are still recruiting in Cape Town, in Stellenbosch, in East London, in Kabeja, all of our central offices as well. So please do pop an application through. We'll take you through the process. Other than that, it has been an absolute pleasure being here today. Thank you again, Mopok, for allowing us the opportunity. Thank you to all of the students that have stuck through the entire hour, listening to us and to our VIPs. And then lastly, our VIPs. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your very busy schedule. We really appreciate the insights and the guidance that you've provided.
Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. It was an absolute pleasure to be a part of your day today.
Thank you so much, Artie and Janine. Really appreciate you and the team being here. This was such an informative session and love your guys' energy. And so lovely to meet you, Varesh, as well, our very own audit partner from Millpark. Thank you also for your engagement and your willingness to answer questions and just get involved. As always, lovely to partner with you guys. So thanks for being here today. Wishing everyone a lovely weekend. Thank you, students, and thank you so much to the team.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Tracy. Bye.
Everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.